Welcome back to NASCAR Heat 5. Folks, today we have got Talladega Super Speedway in the Cup Series. We had a fun race last week, made a mistake in Xfinity, and it cost us a win, but that's not going to get us down today because we've done quite well in the Cup Series and we are currently in the playoffs. I'd like for us to continue driving well, but we also appear to have lost our momentum, and I'm not quite sure how that happened. It doesn't matter. Let's get out here. We're going to do this stuff with the car. We're not buying anything right now, so nothing to see there, and we will see you on the track. Just like in the Xfinity race, there'll be no practice or qualifying for you to see. All right, here we go. Jeremiah Graham, little information for you. He has been having a stellar weekend. Congratulations to him, while Jeff Gordon is your pole winner, and Tiana Holiday has to go to the back after an engine change right after qualifying.
We're going green. Are you ready now? Green
Let's
flag,
get this thing
flag.
started. Bring up the relative right away. I am running a stock setup with just a different gear ratio. Everything else on the setup is accurate to, or not accurate, is normal for a stock setup. The car, I did do a little bit of practice just to see how bad the car was, and it was actually super loose. And it still feels really touchy even with the stock setup, so I'm not quite sure what I've got going on here. Maybe I should have tightened it up or something, but I didn't. So here we go as we are entering 3 and 4 for the first time in the race. Got a little bit of information for you. This will be a 15-lap stage. And we've got like 11 or 12 in the tank to start, so that's going to make things challenging for us, as we'll have to pit probably in every stage, maybe twice in the final stage of this race. And what does that do to us? Well, it makes things a little difficult because we don't pit as psycho as the rest of the cars around us do. They're able to get up there and kind of stop on a dime, so that's something that we'll have to keep an eye on as the race continues. We also don't really have the power in the car, although we are going past some of these cars. We don't have the power in the car to really catch up if we're far behind or outside of the draft, so that's another concern. I will say that all custom drivers have received their updates. That did send me the updates. If you have not, I will still update your driver. Just take a look at your DMs and send me the information for updating your driver, and I'll get it in on the next recording cycle, which will be next weekend. So anyway, aside from that, 56 laps in this race, and we are up into 17th place. Gotta love Talladega because you can do this sort of thing, but the concern always comes from who are we going to get near that is a rival. That's going to cause some issues. I know Cale Harbaugh is, but we're on his inside. He won't jump down on us until we hit the corner. That's why I'm trying to grab the draft as hard as I can from Tyler Stevens to not get run down in there. We're going to get hit by Cale, but he slows himself up, not us. And this is the perfect opportunity in a track that we can maybe avoid the cars that hate us. But if we get up to the front of this thing like we're doing right now, maybe not, because I know that we've got a number of drivers that don't like us that are up there, so we'll have to see how that all goes as well. Currently inside the top 10. We won at Richmond, and now we're looking to make waves here at Talladega. Car is better than it was in practice. I had the custom setup in it from the maxed out car we were driving last year with JGR, so got a little lucky there. This car is just not as nice with the 90 overall plus the 8 points. I think it's an 82 overall for this race. So, you know, at least this is better than Dirt to Daytona, where there was no drafting and no drafting partners, and they just kind of drove around and you basically fought it out with 2 cars the whole race and everyone else just sort of fell behind. Looking up at the front, we've got, well, once we get past Chase Elliott, Earnhardt is a rival, Tony Stewart's a rival, Joey Logano's a rival, so this isn't going to go well. I don't see what the purpose would be of me even going up in front of them. We're just going to hang out here behind Kyle Larson
got room.
Or I'm
You're
just
clear
going to
there.
drive up into Dale Earnhardt like a moron. You know, these are the types of things that happen. But it'd be nice if we can, if I can hang out here and even just live in the top 5 world until the end of the race and then make some exciting moves. But here we are. Not really much of a choice as we get a huge run. And now I'm just trying to stay on the inside to avoid getting smacked by Earnhardt, who isn't actually driving down on us, and I'm shocked by that. But we'll take it. We will take it. We're going to partner up with Kyle Larson. Got a little touch there, but we're all right. Got Gary Norton trying to get into our outside, but he's going to drive into the middle. Make it 3 wide going into 3. Oh, no, he had room to get up there. That's fine. I was going to say, this could be a tight fit here, but we're doing all right, and so is he.
Stay low, stay low.
We're just trying to hang out behind Kyle Larson. Makes it difficult, though, when the car on the outside of you decides that they don't want to move up at all.
Careful, still there.
Getting a nice run here. Earnhardt slows up. Not sure what that was about, but we will take it because now he's behind us and not causing any kind of issues as we link back up as a partner with Kyle Larson.
Right, you're clear.
Some contact from Joey Logano, no big deal. So we're going to hang out in the middle of the track until we get into the turn. Logano's going to bump us, but he's not going to hurt us, obviously, as we're running down the straightaway.
Car there
So
on
I'm
the
going to jump
outside.
down. I was kind of hoping Larson would follow us. He did not. And now we're kind of,
Outside.
in a situation. We've got Earnhardt running into us in the turn. We've got Tony Stewart in front of us. So expect a lot of contact for the rest of this
You got room, you're
stage.
clear there.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know. 10 laps left in stage number 1. We are rolling here right behind Tony Stewart and in front of Dale Earnhardt, who just backed way off. My assumption is so that he can get a run to try to get around us. We're going to hang out with Tony Stewart here, though, and just see what we can do. The one thing I'm not going to do, which I did in the last race, is make the mistake of trying to block somebody, forget to turn into the corner because I'm driving in my rear view and wreck the race for me. Just trying to stick with Stewart because he is the only draft that I have at this point.
Got one peeking inside. You got
We're going to have a little contact from Dale Earnhardt, but it's nothing major, and we're going to lose some stuff now because I'm not going to drive up there to block Earnhardt off, but he is going to hit us coming down. Slowed himself up a bit. That's going to help us get back up to the back end of Tony Stewart. But we've got Gary Norton up here, and that just shows you that anybody can be racing for the lead in this race, as our custom drivers are, and they now know it because they've seen their numbers for the first time. They are all quite a bit lower rated than our AI drivers are. But that's part of the fun of it. On the regular tracks, we're all racing with each other. Got a couple drivers on speedways that are actually going to be competing for wins now after their adjustments. That should be interesting to see how that goes. I look forward to calling their names out in those races. I think I really do just need to hang out, follow Earnhardt and Stewart because they go up to that second lane coming out of the turns. Oh, we got a nice run here. Unintentional by Dale Earnhardt as he is pushing us. And he's going to maybe push us to the lead, which is hilarious because his goal is not even to do that. Oh, now he backs off and we're going to get severely screwed here. Here comes Tony Stewart just smashing us into the turn. I'm not even turning the car on my own at this point. It's just, as a matter of fact, I'm turning it to the right to avoid.
Clear high, clear high.
He's trying to drive us off the track, so that's good.
Outside, outside.
No big deal, no big deal. Oh, well, big deal. He's about to wreck his whole race. Lucky for him, I got a better run and was able to pull up a little bit. And Gary Norton takes advantage of the contact between all of us. What is Stewart doing? Just stop for your own sake, guy.
Still there.
Gary Norton's getting a huge run. We've got Tyler Stevenson right there behind us. Tony Stewart making absolutely amazing moves right now, and I'm saying that as sarcastically as humanly possible. He's driving down on us even without being in the turn anymore. We're not even driving this car at this point. I just have my foot on the gas, and he's pushing us down in the turn. And, oh, this isn't good. Can I get a nice run, or am I going to get... Yeah, I get smashed. Nothing I can do here. Nothing I can do there.
Car outside.
I got hit a couple times. That's going to save him from wrecking, but it's not going to put us in a good spot because we're going to start to get hit on the... There we go. That was big shoves. Big shoves. Not great.
All right, you're clear
I would
there.
not expect the two cars up there who are battling it out side by side to remain up there, as we're all going to get pushed up to the front. As I've got Kurt Busch behind us now and Tony Stewart. This time I'm going to get in front of Stewart because I know for a fact he's just going to shove us.
That car in front of you, he's slowing down. He's going to be pitting.
Someone's pitting already? Oh my. We're going to be pitting soon too. Holy crap. Do I pit now? No. We're going to follow Gary Norton.
Hold your line, got one inside.
Well, we might not have to do
All right,
anything
you're
as
clear.
Tony Stewart
You
just
gotta
clipped
come
us
up here
in
for
the
gas.
back end. Is that going to bring out a caution, or are we okay? He might be out of the race after that one, and the caution does come out. Tony Stewart, as you saw, tagged us in the back end and spun himself out. What a genius. We come out in first place. And this is where the real fun starts. We've got a lot of custom drivers out front here, and that is fantastic
Outside,
because we
outside.
are not rivals with any of these drivers.
I need 2 more solid laps, bud. Keep it going.
Just 2 laps left in stage number 1. So we get up through the gears. I don't foresee us winning stage 1, but we're going to do the best we can right here with John Perez behind us. As usual, he'll drop back. That's what happens when you're in the lead. They don't want to give you that push at all, and then they all will get their nice little head of steam. Hopefully this time, though, by sticking to the plan of staying on the inside, we'll have a good shot at doing something with this and coming out in the lead, maybe. I don't know.
White flag, dig, driver.
Last lap here, stage number 1.
Careful.
And there's the run by Gary Norton. We make the quick move up to back him off, make a quick move back down. We hold both of those cars at bay. This is where we're going to lose it, but Norton has nobody to support him right now. And because we are not in the lead anymore, we're going to get the partnership with John Perez. He's going to try to push us up there. Such a huge run by Norton. He actually gets up in front of us and clears us by at least a car length. That's crazy. Hoping to get a big run here, but I'm not seeing it happen. We just don't have the power in it. We don't have anything behind us. We're doing 205 miles an hour, folks. We're not any kind of a slouch right now, but it's just not enough. We'll bring home second place in stage number 1. We pit. We come back out in first place. Fantastic for us. And we've started to see some of the AI drivers pop up in the top 10 behind us.
There on the outside. You got room. You're clear there.
Another set of 15 laps in stage number 2. We didn't have to pit in stage 1 because of Tony Stewart running into our back end and spinning himself out. That was helpful to us. Hopefully, we'll be able to continue to remain up in this front area and not deal too much with any kind of rivals trying to destroy us again for quite a while. That is the hope. Jimmy Johnson, he's made his way up into 3rd place now. Now, we are a lot slower without somebody in front of us. So, I can see cars that are going to absolutely end up just diving in front of us or getting around us like Gary Norton was able to earlier. He's down in 5th place right now. Kyle Larson making his way up into the top 5. Casey Kane, custom driver. I know he is a real driver, or was a real driver, but he is a custom driver represented by one of our subscribers. And here comes Kyle Larson. He's got Bryce Egan pushing him. And as soon as that lead gets got, we're going to get a push. And here we go, trying to battle back with John Perez, long-time subscriber here.
Still there.
And he is going to push us back up into at least 2nd place. And then he backs way off. Not really sure why, because he's showing as he's still a partner, and now he's not a partner anymore. We're going to probably get a lot more speed under us by following Kyle Larson around, so that's what we're going to do. Although I feel now like we were just hindering everybody behind us. We got John Perez again. I know he's going to give us a push, so I'm going to stay on the low line. It's just better for us. Rather than moving all around and having him push us somewhere and it messing us up, we'll just keep it on the low line. He might be able to push us in front of Larson. I'm not sure. If we can get to that fender, which we're going to, that's going to put us in a great spot when we enter into turn number 3.
You got room. You're clear there.
Perez gets us back to the lead. I can see that he'll probably drop right off of us after we're here, and he does. That's going to give us a little bit of momentum. And if we're thinking about the end of the race, you know, that might be just enough for us to be able to block everyone off for a win. It would have been. So those are things to keep in mind as we're getting towards stage number 3, is that we're going to need to deal with. Ooh, John Perez gets a run with Joey Logano, who is a rival. Not a big fan of that. Not much I can do here. Going to get a nice bump from Bryce Egan as he stayed on the inside. Gary Norton and Kyle Larson up on the highest line of high lines, as they're both going to drive down in front of all of us. My bigger concern was seeing Joey Logano there, but he seems not to be a part of this anymore, which is great. We're going to give Gary Norton just the slightest of slight pushes.
Outside.
And here comes Bryce Egan making a move. And up behind us is Matt Kenseth, who is another rival. So he'll give us the shove whether we're partners or not, and we'll take it.
You got room.
So we're going to be shoved right back up to the back end of Gary Norton. We're going to try to push with him. Honestly, the best thing for me is just to be in front of Kenseth, even though he's not a draft partner. He doesn't care. He's trying to wreck us, quote unquote, so he's just going to push us all the way through. Of course, now it's going to go poorly for us because I didn't get down into the inside line, so that sucks. Ooh, nice. I don't know why Terry Labonte did that, but he opened up the inside for us, and then we almost lost it coming out of 4 for no reason.
You got room. You're clear there.
Got 8 left in the tank. And now we have got a partner in Terry Labonte, so that's pretty nice. So he's going to try to push us back up. I mean, being up in front and battling it out like this is a lot of fun. Having a car like Kenseth up here with us, not as much fun. But whatever. We're doing what we do. Here comes Labonte, going to give us a nice little shove. I have a feeling that we're going to be put in the same situation we were put in the last... Oh,
Careful.
Obviously, he drove down on us. Even if it doesn't look that way, he's a rival. We were coming in, and maybe I was preparing for it, so I turned up a little bit, but I knew he was going to drive down on us, so I just, yeah, he's steering us just like Stewart was earlier. We know what happened to Stewart, though, and if he gets wrecked any time going forward, we could pit and finish this stage out without having to pit under green again. Ooh, but he's not going to drive down when we've got Terry Labonte behind us because he's not a rival with Labonte. So Labonte comes up and starts to push us. We're going to push Gary Norton probably to the lead. And I'm all right with that.
Outside, outside. You got room. You're clear.
I just want to still keep it on the inside, though. Like I am. So if Norton wants to come up or he wants to stay down here, that's fine. He's going to go up into that middle lane, and that's going to clear us to get to his fender at least going into the turn. That should allow us to pass him going through turn 1 and 2. Of course, that's going to have us losing our partnership with Terry Labonte, but we're back in first place, so that's pretty cool. Actually, Labonte's hanging with us, but he's not anymore. And they went up to that very high line. Wow. I just have to keep in mind. Remember that I have to turn. We have got a caution, which is awesome because we won't have to pit in stage 2 then. Went in first, came out in first. Got partners sitting next to us. We've got rival behind us, which actually might benefit us because he'll run us through whether we're leading or not. And that's awesome. It might be the only way we can win is to have a rival behind us that's trying to wreck us, but actually pushes us to the lead or keeps us in the lead with pushing us. And there it is. See, he is pushing us. Oh no, he got to my fender, so he's gonna. Oh, he's gonna drop back now. Good. I have to remember though to keep my eye on the track. Again, that's how we ended up not being able to battle for the win in the last race. Is that Ryan Blaney? And Bryce Egan's right behind us, but Ryan Blaney's up in third place now. That's another rival. Again, it could be beneficial at the end of the race if they're there and they end up coming up to smack us instead of right around us. We'll see what happens. But for now, we need to focus on getting the best finish we can in stage number 2. And the best thing I can do is kind of just focus on the track and not really much on the rearview mirror. If somebody gets around me, I'm just going to have to rely on a partner to push me. Looks like we've got a lot of shuffling around going on behind us. Actually, I lied. I'm going to block. He's a rival, so our block is just going to be heavy contact, but it's not going to matter because we're going to keep this car in front of everyone, and now we've got a rival that's going to basically ride us all the way through every turn, so we're going to need to stay in front of him. And we didn't, and he is, I don't know what he's going to do now, to be honest. Is he going to, yeah, he's going to do what Tony Stewart did, and he's going to try to wreck us. And he's going to cause himself to get wrecked, and that is probably going to wreck the field and bring out the caution. And because of that caution, that'll be enough to end the stage. We will come away with the victory in stage number 2. I really wish the game would realize that if something's hitting my rear end, that I'm not the cause of the accident, and I just think that at the end of this one, they're all going to be mad at us because 2 of them so far have wrecked themselves trying to wreck us. We got some shuffling around there. 5 spots, 7 spots, 7 spots with Matthias Espinoza, Cale Yarborough, and I didn't remember who the third person was that had jumped up a bunch of spots. I tend to believe that those cars did not pit and will be pitting probably midway through this last stint. We'll only need to pit one time. We get 11 per tank. There's 21 in the last stage, so if we can make it to the end of our fuel run completely, we'll be able to pit and then just run this race out. Forgot to shift. That's on me. Ryan Blaney peeking out, taking a look at that middle. And I tell you what, we haven't done it yet today, and we do it at least once per race. We're going to speed things up, and we'll be back when we are pitting for the final time in this race. Caution flies. 14 laps remaining in the race. After caution laps, maybe we will not have to pit again for the whole race. We will find out when we get back to green flag racing. Well, we went in 4th. We come out in 1st. We've got David Schildhouse behind us. No, we don't. We have David Schildhouse behind us on the outside. So I've got Tony Stewart right behind us. Not my favorite situation. Also, by the way, while we were running... I didn't shift again. While we were running before, we ended up getting between Cale Yarborough and Tony Stewart, who are both rivals, and that is the worst place to be between those 2 drivers. We're okay. We're getting up to speed. It's taking us a bit, but we've kept Stewart behind us, which is what mattered to me, because he's going to push us and get us up to speed faster than anybody else would, even though he's not a partner. as we're seeing right now. We're going to get up into Schildhaus's draft and hang out with him, hopefully.
Careful, still there.
Come off the gas to avoid contact. Wow, I thought I avoided contact. We'll say that was netcode, even though I don't know if this game has netcode, but there's Stewart. He just tried to wreck us, tried to take us out on our front right fender. Jeez, this guy. I mean, it's fine. It's what we signed up for, right? Unfortunately. Here we are up into second place because we're getting absolutely murdered by somebody who is our rival, and hopefully down this straightaway we'll be able to continue to... Nope, he's going to jump to my outside and try to drive me down again. Oh, we might have another caution shortly. We'll find out.
Car outside.
He's going to ride me through this turn. There's nothing I can do. I mean, I can turn him up, which I just did. And we kept it off the wall, which was important. We kept it out of all the other cars, which is important. Here's Stewart again, just smashing into us, and now he's on my inside. Is he going to run into us down the side? Nope, he does not. He realizes he's in position, in a better position. I see Joey Logano there. That's always a concern. Thankfully, we've got Kyle Larson pushing us, but I just don't think it's enough. Trying to use Tony Stewart's draft to pull us back up. Just not happening. Here comes Logano. Little contact with Logano. That's not great. But he's all right.
Careful, still there. Top three.
We'll try it again. Sitting here in 6th place now. What are we at? 10 laps in the tank. Let's follow that for a second, actually.
Careful,
got 10 in the tank. Are we coming through to 9 to go? And how fast is this going to change to 9 in the tank? 8 to go. We're fine. We don't have to pit. No pitting in this race because of cautions, which we have cautions on not strict, so that's pretty nice.
Still there?
I'm hoping that we'll get the push from John Perez to get around Logano, get on the inside of Michael Chavez. That's a big deal, because that kind of puts a buffer between us and a rival. So we go into turns number 1 and 2. It's been an exciting race so far. We've got David Schildhaus in 2nd place. Wouldn't have a problem pushing him to the lead and the win at all. As long as we end up safe and completing this race. He went high. We stayed where we were. That's going to open the door for us and drop him back a bit. Unintentional, but you can never tell what they're going to do in this track. As we're now looking at a rival's bumper. And at this point, just hanging out back here and waiting to see what's going to happen might be the way to go. I know they run up to the middle lane coming out of the turn, so I'll just do that and then follow him around. 8 in the tank, 6 at the line. I don't know what he's doing, but we're going to get a push from Perez. The issue is say we get in front of him, he's not just going to let us drive next to him. He's going to run down on us, and that's a problem. Like this, as soon as we get close to him. I can't come off the gas. If I do, I'm going to drop back and screw everyone up. So I'm just going to drive this thing like I can. Take the contact like it's back in the 90s, and everyone's bumping and grinding all the way down the track.
Careful, still there.
That's what we need to do. We need to make a modern day, like 1990s with the rule package and everything, racing game.
Car on the outside now.
That'd be fun.
Peeking outside. All right, clear outside.
First, we have to have the ultimate NASCAR racing game, though. This is not it. This is fun. I enjoy it, but it's just not it. We'll find out what happens when NASCAR 2025 comes out. I'm sure you're all excited for that. I know I am. I hope it's not on console. Yeah, I have a PS5, but I can do things with a game depending on what game engine it's written on. I can do things like I did with this game, which is mod it. If it's Unity, I can mod it for sure. I mod tons of different Unity games and have in the past, but you know, I have a couple of buddies of mine that we're all talking about potentially making a game, but it wouldn't be a racing game. We're looking at a potential it'd be a game with a linear story. Just try to put out something really epic. But, you know, that's pipe dream talking from some middle-aged guys that are sick of the way that games are made nowadays. Like, here, let's say this. If you're gonna... hold on. Let me step up on my soapbox real quick for these last 4 laps. If I was going to build a game, I would make it absolutely moddable. 100%. Comfortably. I'd make modding tools for it. Why? You're still buying my core game. And if you're going to make it better in some way, I'm in. You know, I'm in for you making the game better. I'm in for... because you're still buying the game. You know what I mean? And mods are free. People mod out. I mean, I guess there's some mods where people put it on their Patreon as a subscription. But I don't really care as long as you're buying my core game. And every game I'd put out, I'd support mods. You think about City Skylines. City Skylines 1 with mod support became the most epic game. Because, and they would, even when they do updates, they get together with the big modders and make sure that their updates were compatible with the mods before anything would happen. That's a big deal. I mean, that makes people want to buy. They won so many awards and things. It was not because of their core game. It was the game with the mods. Here we go again. Kyle Busch, old teammate, going to get a big run on the outside. He's going to drop down in front of us with Michael Chavez. Sam Long, he's up here in 5th place.
Got one peeking outside. All right, you're clear there.
I'm just trying to... well, I mean, should be able to get around Chavez. Anyway, the whole point is, with all the... I've got a software background. It's what I... no, Chavez came up and touched us a little bit. He's off on the inside. Is that going to bring out a caution? Is that going to be a race to the flag? I don't know. Doesn't appear the caution's coming out. That's not how we wanted to end that race for him. There we go. We're going to get a draft. Oh, we should just stick with Perez for now and see what we can do. Oh, Perez gets out of the gas to try to avoid running into Kyle Busch. And that's going to open the door on the inside for us to get around him. We've got Tyler Stevenson right behind us, giving us a nice little push. We're coming to the final lap of the race. And Kyle Busch looking to block that inside, decides not to, and that's going to open the door for us. But now we have to worry about Tyler Stevenson as we get a lead, dropping off of us and opening the door for everyone else to get around us. I also see David Schildhouse back there in 3rd place. There goes Stevenson. He's dropping back. What we need to do to win this race is to block everybody off, and that's what I'm going to work on trying to do. This is actually how we messed it up the last time. Stevenson's rolling there with Schildhouse on the outside. I can't do anything about it because I need to stay on the inside or I'll get completely... oh, this is going about as bad as it could. And Gary Norton is not partnering up with us. He is not all race long, which is weird. And because of that, we're going to come home with a 3rd place finish. Nothing I can do about it. Tyler Stevenson wins the race here at Talladega. That's another subscriber driver making their way into the playoffs as we have the max speed rating in this race. Race results: top 5, Tyler Stevenson, Kyle Busch, Tony Savoy, Gary Norton, and John Perez. Other custom drivers: Sam Long, after being involved in an early incident, finishes in the top 10 and 7th. David Schildhouse 9th. Taylor Carpenter 11th, Bryce Egan 12th, Matt Malone 13th, Malachi Thomas 16th, Jeremiah Graham 17th, Matthias Espinoza 19th, Timothy Mathis 22nd, Eliza Bethel 25th, Max Koss 26th, Casey Kane comes in 27th, AJ Hale 28th, Lane Tibergen 29th, Bernardo De Oliveira comes in 36th place, Sienna Holiday 37th, and Michael Chavez 40th. My apologies, sir. You did come up a little bit. We were there. We had contact with your fender. It wasn't great. Fastest lap of the race went to us with a 47.2. Most laps led goes to us. 16 laps in the race. On the move, we started 2nd from last. We finished in 3rd. Tough break goes to Tony Stewart, who started 7th and finished 38th. Ooh, we hit our incentive contract. Quick 69,000. All right, we got some compliments. That's pretty good considering all the contact we had. Terry Labonte. Big fan. Terry Labonte, big fan. He had to say he's not the youngest, all right, folks. He doesn't know how to use the Twitters or the X's or whatever it is. We love him anyways. Bernardo de Oliveira also, and that was very nice of him. He was involved in a wreck earlier as well. Glad to see him in good spirits after the race. And the next episode, we'll run at one of my happier tracks overall, Dover Speedway. Usually yields some good racing between us and the others, so I look forward to that one. 70 laps out there in Delaware. But folks, that is going to do it for this episode. I would like to take a moment out to say thank you so very much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. And until next time, and of course, as always, you take care.